Hey, I haven't done a vlog in a while, so ugh, sorry, my hair is everywhere. So I thought maybe I would do one real quick. Um, let's see, today is March, I believe the 12th or the 13th. What is today? Anyway, it's 2013, and it's coming up on the third year. Well, last month on the February 8th, was the third. My little girl Tess, who passed away from SIDS, April 2010. At 10 weeks old, it was her third birthday, and I just kind of wanted to get on to let all of anybody that watches these, maybe other bereaved mothers or whatever, just kind of to let them know how I did on her birthday. It actually, it kind of, it didn't just pass, but it wasn't. Last year, I remember being very, 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 very emotional. The night, I remember waiting up until 12 o'clock hit the night of her birthday, and I was broken. I was devastated. This year has been it was a lot easier. I definitely, it was still hard, but that was a lot easier. The month of March always, not always, but for the last 2 years has been, it's just kind of, March is kind of bittersweet because it was the only month that she lived, only month ever that she lived through the entire month. She was born the 1st of February, and then she died in the middle of April. And so I don't know, I guess you couldn't really explain this to someone maybe who had not had a significant loss, but the actual dates that they were alive are really hard too, because I go back and I think 3 years ago I was with her, and we did this, and I was feeding her, and we did that, and I can remember things that I did with her, or things that we didn't do a ton because she was a newborn, but I just I don't know, it's just those days are kind of hard. So February, March, and April are always just kind of emotional days for me. Emotional months for me. To update any of you really quick, I'm so punchy because I literally have gotten like probably 2 to 3 hours of sleep the last 2 nights. I have a 4-month-old baby boy whose name is Jones Gray, and then I have a 21-month-old. You might remember I have a 21-month-old little boy named Sailor, and so my baby, I just don't get a lot of sleep, so I'm a little bit ugh. Anyway, what was I going to say? So anyway, her anniversary day is coming up in I guess a little bit over a month, and I don't know, I guess I can talk about the ways that I've progressed and healed, and things have gotten easier. I am not sorry, I keep saying that. I'm not on the floor devastated every single second of the day like I was. And look at that light. Wow. Like I was for a time. Oh, that's better. Like I was for a time. But so the really awful moments and the awful days are further. They get further and further apart. So that's good, because I'm able to be able to function and take care of my family, and so much better than I was able to 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. So So that's gotten better. Another thing, I have a lot of, or I have a few bereaved mother friends who are either pregnant after losing a baby to SIDS, or have just had newborn babies. And let me tell you the difference, because I've had two. I had 3 babies back to back, and I have had 2 since Tess died. So I've had, like I said, I have a 21-month-old and a 4-month-old. And whenever I had Sailor and brought him home, I literally, I did not. First of all, this Jones will be my 5th child. I have a 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and then these 2 little boys, 2 little girls and 2 little boys. And when I had Sailor, he was my 4th child. I didn't want the nurses to or the doctor to discharge me from the hospital. I have C-sections, and so I was able to stay 3 days, but I was terrified to bring him home. And then when I brought him home, because I think he and Tess were born 15 months apart, it was so close. And I think even if it had been years after that I had him, I don't know if I would have felt exactly the same, but I was terrified. And I watched him like a flippin' hawk for, over a year. But at first, it was awful because I would have a constant, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with post-traumatic stress disorder, because I am the one that found my daughter. And so I would be terrified to, obviously, to find him, and that something was wrong. But I would have this debilitating fear, let's say that he was in one room and I had gone into, let's say, for instance, he was in the living room in his swing, sleeping away. This is when he was little. And as he got a little, as he got bigger too. But, and I had I was doing laundry, and I walked back into our bedroom to put up something. Then as I turned around and I would walk back into the room that he was in, the fear was paralyzing. I actually would have to make myself do it. I mean, it was insane. I would have to make myself walk into the room because I was so terrified of what I was going to find. And if anybody else, I think I have mentioned this in other vlogs, but if anyone else at my family was home, like my 2 precious little girls, poor things, and if my husband was home, I would ask them to go check on him. And I don't think, obviously, I never told my daughters why, but I did tell my husband. I'm like, how sad is that I am so scared to go check on Sailor that I asked my little girls to go do it because I'm afraid he's going to be dead. So, and I would see every time he was asleep at first, the first several months, not every time, but a lot of the time when he was asleep, he would look dead to me. I don't mean to be so blunt, but he just would look, I would see her, I guess, whenever I would come in. And so I don't have those type of flashbacks with Jones, with our new baby. I still watch him like a hawk. It feels a little bit better though. It feels a little bit different. I feel like, I guess I got through that first year with Sailor, and so I know I can do it with him. Or, I feel like almost like some of my, when I lost this baby to SIDS she was my 3rd child, after having these 2 little girls healthy, and then having her, she was perfectly healthy, and then she dies out of nowhere. I think I lost a lot of my my instincts as a mother, and that it it shook me because I didn't know what I'd done wrong, and so I think by having Sailor and now Jones, I think it has brought given me some confidence back that I lost, which was dumb because I didn't do anything. But so that is a little bit different. I still don't get a lot of sleep. I still do have a lot of anxiety. I actually have a lot of anxiety, and I've been prescribed by the doctor some anxiety meds because I have, it's so awful, but I won't even let myself take any because I'm afraid I'm going to get sleepy, and I have to always be on alert. I have to always be awake. I'll always be awake. Not always, but you know what I mean? I have to always be on alert, and so be alert. Just always be very vigilant about watching him and, you know, making sure nothing's going to happen on my watch. So that hasn't really changed that much, but I was so, when I found, actually he was an accident. We were finished with Sailor, and he was like a whoopsie kind of a baby. And I was kind of down probably the first, I know this is awful, but the first few months of my pregnancy, probably I don't know, a lot of my pregnancy with him, I wasn't excited because I kept thinking to myself, I can't do that again. I mean, not only was it hard to like have a newborn again because I was still like in the depths of my grief, you know, from losing our little girl, but just the having to check on him and just, you know, what was going on in my mind, my irrational mind, you know, which I could not help, you know, but what was going on in my mind was so exhausting that I didn't know if I could do it again. I mean, it was crazy, but so that I want to give, I guess I'm telling you this about the difference, you know, in Jonesy's, you know, newborn stage in Sailors, is that I do feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit more confident about, I guess, taking care of him, and not necessarily taking care of him, but trusting my instincts, like I said, and I don't have such a fear, I guess, of him, you know, if him passed away from SIDS. I do have a snooza monitor, and I have an angel care monitor, but a lot of he does wear a snooze a lot, but it's almost like I don't even trust those either. I still have to be on high alert. I'm kind of crazy, but so I'm trying to think what else. It was weird yesterday, and I think it's because I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I have a newborn. I've never felt more overwhelmed in my life, and I think that it's because of my age. I'll be 39 in August, so I'm 38. I have these 2 little babies. They are 17 months apart, and I had 3 babies back to back in 3 years, and on top of that, you know, I also lost a child, and you know, in a very what's the word? You know, in an unexpected and awful way. You know, not that there's a good way to lose a child. There's not. That was retarded or stupid for me to say. Sorry. But what am I trying to say? See, I can't even think. I can't even keep like the same train of thought. Can you see my eyes? Like, look at those bags. Oh, I feel like I'm so like I'm just overwhelmed and tired. And I think that I was talking to my sister. It was a few weeks ago, and I called her one day, and I was just having a really down moment. You know, like I felt like I was going to like have a nervous breakdown, like, and in my mind I'm thinking, I've been like through so much worse than this, like, why are these just, you know, just dumb things getting to me so much? And I was like, I'm so tired, like, I don't know what to do with myself, like, I can't get my stamina back, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like used to, like 3 years ago, when I think about 3 years ago, I just feel like I'm so much more worn out, like just tired to the, like, bone tired. And so I was telling her that, and she goes, you know, you have these 2 babies, and then you lost one too, and you know, it just has to affect you, like emotionally, obviously, and physically, mentally, everything. But I'm trying to think what else. I was in a little consignment store yesterday, a place that I go into a lot, and there's a really cute children's section. And there was this couple in there that were looking, I was looking through, you know, the little boy clothes, and then I was looking over in the bigger girl